The Bengals fall to 4-9 after dropping a heartbreaker here in Buffalo, and it's a game that in a lot of ways resembled how this Bengals season has gone. But this one's going to sting for a while because for the most part of this game, the Bengals were winning and looked like they were going to get out of Buffalo in the snow with a great performance led by Joe Burrow and his receivers with a win. And then who knows what could have happened against the Ravens next week and these final 4 games. But they weren't able to get the job done, and it really all started in the fourth quarter. The Bengals had a 10-point lead, and 2 very uncharacteristic turnovers by Joe Burrow swung this game in a different direction. In about less than 30 seconds, the Bills then took the lead. The Bengals still went down the field, scored a touchdown. The game wasn't over with 2 minutes to go, but as we've seen all year long, when the Bengals defense needed to make a stop on 3rd and 15 in the final seconds of the game to give their offense one more shot, they weren't able to do so, and it's left these Bengals leaving Buffalo disappointed. That's how Zach Taylor really described. He said he was sick to his stomach about the way that this game went. He said his team fought really hard, but in the end, Buffalo made more plays down the stretch. And that was really the story of today's game. Joe Burrow was awesome outside of those 2 interceptions. T. Higgins played a phenomenal game, battled back from being in concussion protocol all week, took some hard hits and still kept getting in there, made a fantastic one-handed touchdown catch. Really, the Bengals offense did everything they could, and the Cincinnati's defense forced a turnover in the end zone. James Cook fumbled the ball. They were right there to pick it up. They made some plays, but too often tight ends were left open. The Bengals have struggled to guard tight ends all year long, and Josh Allen proved to be who he is, and that is the reigning MVP. The Bengals really didn't have an answer for him when he was able to escape out of the pocket. They couldn't bring him down. Continued with the missed tackles from some key players, and really, you know how this story is going to go. So right now, because of this loss, in addition to it being a tough one, the Bengals are now 3 games back in the division race. And with Pittsburgh beating Baltimore today, the Bengals really needed to win to be able to keep things in a tight race in the AFC North. It makes it really challenging for them, these final 4 games, even though they do have an opportunity, if they can win out, to maybe see how things could play out. But 3 games back at this point in December makes it very challenging to see the Bengals finding a way into the postseason. And that's really what you felt in the locker room. Nobody said it, but it did seem like a team that knew they ruined their shot at really being able to try and make a run and sneak into the playoffs on Burrow's back. A lot of reflection needs to happen for this Bengals team. They have a huge game against the Ravens coming up, and Joe Burrow said he'll leave time to reflect on what needs to change in the organization so that they can continue to get themselves back into playing games in December that mean something like it was today. So that is it for some post-game takeaways here in Buffalo. Be sure to keep it at Cincinnati.com for all of your coverage of the Bengals.